Well, well, well. Lord Frost has resigned his Brexit post, and I'm almost sorry to see him go, really. I mean, who am I going to be sarcastic about now, due to their complete and utter failure to negotiate? So, of course, I've got Liz Truss, but I shall come on to her in a bit. I don't normally do too many of these public events, news events, sort of commentary. But I think in this case, I'll have to really, because Lord Frost has been so pivotal to the Brexit negotiation project. Now, I'll start with my opinions on his resignation reasons. Um, they may be true, but I don't find them particularly credible, I have to say. And the reason why I don't find that particularly credible is because we can see that the Brexit project is running into fairly significant problems right now. Literally all the negotiation strategies are falling apart. The threat to trigger Article 16, the obsession with creating nonsensical trade agreement, the refusal of the US to play ball with the UK, the failure of migrant asylum. There is nothing there that you can look at that looks successful. So I think it seems to be very coincidental that Lord Forrest has quit just before all this is really going to come to a head, probably next year, when some of the more restrictions, the tariffs and trade-based restrictions that the UK had meant to be applying, get applied, supposedly next year, although they might be postponed again. So it's not hard to make a case that Lord Frost has jumped before the stain of all that failure lands on him. It's also not hard to make the case that he doesn't want to be associated with Boris Johnson, who is looking politically extremely vulnerable right now, and things may well get worse as a result of Omicron and the potential lockdowns that may result. So what does this mean for Brexit, really? I suppose is the immediate question that people are going to ask. And I can't help but feel that some of the wheels are kind of coming off. I mean, they've been coming off for a while, in all honesty, but I think they're going to come off in a bit more of an obvious way. The Northern Ireland Protocol is going to get quietly shelved. That's an issue. I think the EU is going to assert itself more as the player that makes things work in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's economic performance is continuing to outdo the rest of the UK. So, but there remains the potential, and I'm no expert in that area, but I think there remains the potential for some civil unrest in Northern Ireland as a result of what Brexit has done. But that's all going to become painfully obvious to many people, I think. So the job now lands on Liz Truss to deliver Brexit, and that's going to be an interesting one, considering she's meant to be the Foreign Secretary as well. I suspect she'll do what she did in the Department of International Trade, in that she will just direct officials to go and deliver the impossible to ridiculously short timelines. That seems to be her favourite leadership style. But that could mean less drama, as effectively Foreign Office diplomats will get down to smoothing all the issues, trying to tackle things, trying to negotiate properly, basically, and that won't be newsworthy, if you like. So all of that, I think, will drop off. But I suspect that Liz Truss really won't be too focused on the Brexit side of things, or even being the Foreign Secretary's job. So I think she'll be more focused on the politics at Westminster. And there's reports that she's positioning herself for a leadership challenge. So what does that, again, come back to, what does that mean for Brexit? Well, I think it kind of means almost that Brexit's going to get parked. It's going to be lots of noise, but not much action. Will those trade agreements continue to be put together and sort of implemented? I suspect they will, but I suspect the political turmoil and the results of Omicron and the crisis that might bring might again slow things down. So it's difficult to call this, I think, but it's definitely not difficult to make the case that with Lord Frost going, the whole push behind Brexit is going to go as well, and people are going to be more focused on domestic concerns, one assume, and the amount of damage that's happening in the UK, both to health and to the economy. And what does this mean for negotiations? Well, it's very hard to negotiate in that sort of climate. You've got no clear direction. You've got no clear strategic objective, which is not exactly anything that's new to Brexit. But I think that might even get worse. So everything will become about damage limitation rather than actually trying to progress any specific action or policy. So really, I think things are going to get quiet and whilst also going messy on the other side of the house. So those are my initial thoughts as to what Lord Frost's resignation means. I don't think it particularly changes anything. It doesn't change the direction of the current government, but the current government is a bit rudderless. That won't change either. And yeah, we shall watch this space and we shall see what happens.